Hello, everyone. I'm coming to you in reference to an incident that happened with myself and my daughter at a Target location, store number 2536, located in Lower Nazareth, Pennsylvania. If you see me looking down, it's because I have notes. We entered the store between 11:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. Once we entered the store, we both went ahead and looked at some items, and then we went our separate ways. I was looking at items. I guess my daughter was looking at items. I don't know. We met up again after going our separate ways. We went to the back of the store to purchase an item that my daughter was originally in there to purchase. Let me just say, we were not going to go to this store. This is not our local Target that we usually go to. Store number 2536, located in Lower Nazareth. However, the item that my daughter was looking for to purchase was out of stock in our local Target that we visit. The other reason that we were not going to go to this store is because my daughter previously worked in this store and was terminated without reason. She filed a complaint for unlawful termination, and we'll get into that later. After we purchased the headphones, we went our separate ways again in the store. I went to the cosmetics department. I was looking for a few items, and I don't know where my daughter went in the store. I was in the cosmetics department for some time. About 15 to 20 minutes as we're into the store and I'm in the cosmetics department, I'm bending down looking at an item, and I hear someone say my daughter's name. Let's just call her Jay. I hear someone say her name, so I look to the right. As I look to the right, I see two Target employees and another man that is dressed in plain clothes. So I see a woman kind of talking, and I start walking over, and that's when I see my daughter and this woman engaging with my daughter. So I walk up, and I'm just making sure that I have everything right. I walk up and I discover that the two people are two managers. One manager named Stephanie, the other manager name is John. The person in the plain clothes was the loss prevention / security personnel for the store. I walk up and I say to them, "I'm her mom, what's going on?" At that point, Stephanie, the manager, turns to me and says, and I quote, "Two of my associates came to me and told me that Jay's mom approached them asking them questions." And I said, "Well, I'm her mom. I haven't spoken to anyone in the store. I came in the store to get some items. I don't know anyone in the store. Why would I be approaching someone asking questions?" As a matter of fact, I was looking for items and I couldn't find them. And even at that time, I didn't approach any of the associates to ask for help. And thank goodness that I didn't, because then her plan would have succeeded. So I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." She began to repeat her statement again. "Ma'am, I'm telling you what I was told by two of my associates." Again, I'm looking at my notes. I advised her that the associates were lying and that this can be easily resolved by just checking the cameras. I looked up and stated that the store has cameras 2 to 3 inches apart throughout the entire store. So let's go check the cameras. Stephanie responded, "No, that's not necessary. I'm just telling you what." I cut her off and I said, "It's absolutely necessary because you came over to me as a customer and accused me of something that I did not do." I turned to the loss prevention guy and say, "Can't we check the cameras?" He says, "You cannot check them, but yes, we," meaning the three of them, Stephanie, John, who are the two managers, and himself, "can go back and check them." I turn back to Stephanie and I say, "Great. I will continue shopping while you all go back and check the cameras. I expect an apology when you return." Stephanie says again, "We are not going to do that, ma'am. I'm just telling you that you cannot ask my associates questions." So now that's the second time that she refused my request to check the cameras. At that time, my daughter chimes in and states that she saw one of her old co-workers and asked her a question, but she was confused as to why they would say it was her mom. Let me just say this. I have never visited this Target store number 2536 in Nazareth, Pennsylvania with my daughter. I didn't even visit the store where my daughter worked in the store just because I didn't want there to be a conflict of interest. As I stated earlier, it also was not my regular store. So I don't know anyone in the store. I don't even live in the area. I don't even live in the city that the store is located in. When my daughter and I entered the store, no one could tell if I was her mother or not because we were not having a conversation. We were looking at items. I would also like to add that my daughter and I are not twins. And anyone who knows us knows that you would actually have to know us in order to know that she is my daughter. At this point, the loss prevention guide states that the way the cameras work is that he manipulates them if they suspect that someone is stealing or doing something illegal. My response to that was you can also just look at the cameras in general to see when someone enters the store and follow them as they walk around the store. Is that correct? His response was yes, we can. Again, I looked at Stephanie, the manager, and this time at John, and I said, okay, I'm requesting again that you go review the cameras. That was the third request. Stephanie said, we are not going to do that, flat out. I'm just telling you that two of my associates came to me saying that Jay's mom came up to them asking questions, and I just want to let you know that we can't have that. I repeat it again. Your associates are lying, and at this point, since you are refusing to believe me and you are refusing to review the tapes, should I call the police? I look at the loss prevention guy and ask, should I call the police? I said, if I call the police, can they review the tapes? He says, yes, if you want, you can call them and they can look at the cameras with us. I then said, better yet, I'm not going to call them. I'm going to go down to the station and file a complaint about what happened here today because this makes absolutely no sense what's taking place right now. Stephanie, the manager at store 2536 in Lower Nazareth, Pennsylvania, then says, ma'am, if that's what you want to do, fine. I respond, that's exactly what I'm going to do because you've accused me of wrongdoing. You came over here and harassed me about something that I know nothing about, and this is ridiculous. I continue on by letting her know that I want the information for her boss and I want the contact information for corporate to file a formal complaint. She shrugged her shoulders and said, fine. But I didn't accuse you. I said you or anyone else cannot ask my associates questions. So I said to her, oh, now you are changing your story. After stating 3 times that your associates informed you that Jay's mom approached them asking questions. And just so I know that I am not crazy, I turned to the other manager and the loss prevention guy and asked them, did both of you hear her say 3 times that 2 associates informed her that I approached them asking questions? The loss prevention guy shook his head, yes. The other manager, John, said yes. I did hear her, but I also said, I cut him off and I say thank you. He said, but please allow me to finish what I'm saying. I informed him that he already answered my question, so whatever he had to say after that was irrelevant. But I allow him to finish anyway. He says, I heard her say that it was you, but she also stated that no other customer should be approaching the associates asking questions. I thank him again for the double confirmation. I take their names and information and then I ask if they have the same manager. John says, yes, we do. Stephanie and I have the same title of ETL in the store. I ask for their manager's name and contact information. They provide me with the name of Jennifer Stant, Standt. As much as Stephanie was confrontational throughout the entire incident, she suddenly appeared to calm down and begins to ask John to provide me with the information that I was requesting. However, I noticed her fingers tapping away on her phone, and I said to her, why are you asking John to provide me with information? You don't know your store telephone number? You don't know the corporate's information now? John says, we have a few different numbers. I'll find it for you. My response was, I'm sure you do, but it's very interesting that she's suddenly really busy on her phone when she wasn't at all throughout the entire situation. Stephanie, the store manager, then admits that she was texting her manager, Jennifer Stant, to inform her that she was giving out her information. And I said to her, I am sure that that is not protocol. You pretended to look for the store number when what you really were doing was texting your boss and CYAing. At this point, I look over at the loss prevention guy in shock and he just shakes his head. Before we all part, I asked them, is there any other information that I need from both of you in order to file my formal complaint? She says, no, John says, I think we gave you all you need. My response was, good. Have a great day. As they were walking away, I say to Stephanie that she is miserable and that she hates her job. She turns around and says, ma'am, don't tell me, and I cut her off. And I said, don't tell you what? I'm telling you what I see. You are miserable and you hate your job. At this point, Stephanie begins to walk towards me again, and the loss prevention guy tells her to walk away. As my daughter and I are standing there, I realize that the loss prevention guy did not leave. So I look at him, and his exact words were, and I quote, "That did not have to escalate like that." I say, am I crazy, or did this seem a bit personal? He says, you're not crazy, and she did not have to do that. She did not have to say all of those things that she said. That is not how we normally approach customers. I apologize for that. Also, the other thing that they should have provided you with was the store number and the location. You're going to need it for your report. I go ahead and I jot the information down. I thank him. He shakes my hand. He shakes my daughter's hand. He says, happy holidays, well wishes. We go our separate ways. At this point, I go back to shopping. Again, my daughter is gone in the store. We are not together. Once I get out the section, the cosmetic section, I'm walking. I'm a few aisles down, and I see the loss prevention guy again. He says, are you good? I said, I'm fine, and he waves. As I'm walking down the main aisle of the store, I see John with another associate. Now, John is the other manager who was just involved in the incident. He slows down. Meanwhile, the other associate goes the other way. We are now walking side by side. I say, here I am again, walking around the store looking for Jay, just as I was doing earlier. John looks at me and says, verbatim, this is just a mess. I am so sorry about that. I say, it's okay, thanks. I go to find my daughter, we grab our things, we exit the store about 12:35 p.m. If I was wrong in this situation, why did the two other employees in the incident both apologize to me? If I approached associates in the store in such a way that they felt the need to report to management, why did the loss prevention guy, who's also security, not kick me and my daughter out of the store? If I was aggressive during the incident, why were we not removed from the store or the police called? The answer, because I was not. Her story was a blatant lie and a personal attack on myself and my daughter for what I believe was the sole purpose of embarrassment. I have never met Stephanie, who works at Target Store 2536 in Lower Nazareth, Pennsylvania. However, Stephanie was the same manager who terminated my daughter after 9 days of employment because another Target associate told her that my daughter made her feel offended. During a conversation while working on one of their shifts, my daughter advised me that the same associate initiated the conversation. They talked about college, jobs. The girl told her that she was bullied in school. She pulled out her phone, showing my daughter her boyfriend while they were at shift at work. My daughter was pulled into the office by Stephanie and other workers on her next day to work and told that she was being terminated. No questions, no explanation, except the word from another employee who had only been there for 90 days. No investigation, nothing. My daughter did file a wrongful termination complaint. It is my belief that Stephanie from Target Store 2536 approached me because she had a personal issue with my daughter. At this time, I am asking Target to do an official investigation into the incident that took place on Friday, December 9th, 2022 at store number 2536 in Lower Nazareth, Pennsylvania. The incident involved myself, my daughter, two managers, Stephanie and John, as well as the loss prevention person and the security at the store. The loss prevention person, I know you guys are wondering why I haven't said his name. He also advised me that he does not always work at that location. However, with the date and time of the incident, they would be able to figure out who was on schedule that day working the shift. I normally do not do this, but I am requesting that Stephanie and the 2 associates who made up this story be terminated, not transferred, but terminated. I am requesting a formal apology from Target Corporation. I will be filing my official complaint and police report tomorrow, Monday, December 12th, 2022, and I will be sharing this video on all of my social medias, including Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and my YouTube channel. I will also be tagging my local news station with this video as well. I normally do not ask anyone on social media to share my likeness. However, this needs to be heard. So I'm asking that you share my story across your social media platforms as well, including Twitter, which I do not currently have. It is the holiday season. Many of us are shopping in Target every day, spending our hard-earned money. They have a responsibility to their customers. I will continue to share this video until I am heard and the incident has been rectified. Once Target does what is right, I will come back to social media with the follow-up. It is 2022. I am exhausted at the fact that people still believe they can treat others this way and get away with it. As I informed Stephanie, the manager, at the Target store 2536 in Lower Nazareth, Pennsylvania, I have time. So please share this. Please tag Target Corporation. Please @ them. This needs to be rectified. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing. And I'm looking forward to coming back to you all with a positive follow-up once this is handled by Target. Happy holidays.